Elon Musk purchased Twitter for $40 billion, and he purchased the United States for the bargain basement price of $200 million. What say you?
See, the game is lame and absurd, but you spit. You need to sit back and observe a certified pimp. So oh yes he is. I mean that boy does the shit. He's a mess he is. Fresh to death. Ain't nobody fresh as he is. They can't compare. Won't get next to him because he's so fly. I mean the boy's so clean. From his white tee home down to those jeans. You see the ice in the pinky.
Good evening. Excuse me. I been down all night last night and all day today with bad flu bug. Man, let me tell you, I have been feeling like purity crap. I got no sleep last night, but it's okay. I will soldier on through. So tonight's unscheduled, as you might imagine, and let me tell you why. Been keeping up with the political environment, as you all know, and I'm sure a lot of you are probably sick of politics, and feeling like it's just driven into the dirt way too much. But you know what? If we don't, if we don't pay attention to what's going on and participate in trying to fix it, then we're going to continue to get what we got right now. We are literally in this pickle, and I'm just being nice, because honestly, we're fucked up. And there's this false sense among MAGA that Donald Trump is keeping his promises, and he is not. Donald Trump has destroyed the fabric of freedom and democracy worldwide. He's pissing off our allies. He's on track to wreck the economy. Contrary to popular belief, Elon Musk is not doing anything to help the American people. He's only doing what he needs to do to help himself and his multi-billion-dollar contracts that he has with the United States government, which in itself is a conflict of interest that he is anywhere near the White House uh, offering any types of suggestions in regards to economic policy, money and finance whatsoever. Congress is supposed to control the purse strings, not an unelected billionaire oligarch, which is what we have. America is officially an oligarchy now. And don't get me wrong, we've always had uh, an environment where the wealthy, held a lot of influence. But we used to have politicians that had credibility, honor, and moral fortitude. And the past, I want to say the past 20 years or so, it's been rapidly going downhill. So let's get right to it, because I want to talk about some of the craziness that's going on that probably a lot of you haven't been paying attention to. Today it was announced inflation is up to 3%. It's back up. It was down. It was down to like 2.5% just before Biden left office. Now Trump's back and inflation is creeping back up, and it's going to go up higher. Egg prices are ridiculous. Can you believe it? Eggs. And granted, it's not because of Donald Trump directly that egg prices are so high. There's been a strain of bird flu going around. It's destroying chickens nationwide, um, and affecting all types of food processing, so forth and so on. So, but eggs have been most affected, but it's going to trickle over into other areas as well. These tariffs, these tariffs are going to be our true downfall, though. Listen, a lot of the free world now is leaving the American dollar behind, and they're joining BRICS. And I know a lot of y'all probably don't pay attention, and you don't quite understand uh, what BRICS is, but BRICS is a new uh, global currency uh, that was put forth. I believe it was put forth originally by Russia and and Iran and a few other African countries. But a lot of European countries have signed on to BRICS. Um, some of our allies have signed on to BRICS. And basically, what they're saying is that the American dollar is not the end all be all for world markets. Uh, it's not standard world currency anymore. And countries aren't depending on the value of the American dollar to drive their economies. And what Trump is doing right now with this America First agenda, which is not really America First, it's really Trump First agenda, because everything that he's doing is only benefiting him and his billionaire oligarchs, mainly Elon Musk, who got him into office. And remember what I said at the beginning. Elon bought the United States for $200 million. Think about that. Now he has direct control and influence of $6 trillion worth of U.S. currency at his fingertips. And his entire crew is wholly unqualified, a bunch of tech youngsters who have no security clearances and have no business getting the data or having access to the data that they've been given access to. So we're in real trouble. We're in real trouble. The billionaires finally truly taken over, and it's probably going to come to a violent end. I hate to say, and that's not trying to be an alarmist. It's just being real. Um, we could be uh, we could be headed toward full scale civil unrest. Um, we definitely have uh, our two closest neighbors highly, highly upset uh, with Donald Trump and his policies. Uh, he's talking about annexing Canada and making Canada the 51st state. Not going to happen. Canadians aren't going for that, and I don't blame them. Canada is a proud country. It's a beautiful country. I've been there several times. I got a lot of Canadian friends that come to visit us here in South Florida every year. And listen, Canadians ain't going for it. They don't want to hear none of that. Donald Trump's also talking about basically invading Greenland unless they agree uh, to become a part of the United States. And I heard today that he wants to rename Greenland Red, White, and Blue Land. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm serious. I thought it was bullshit, but I heard it myself when I watched earlier today. My daughter told me first, and then I saw Donald Trump, and he was like, we're gonna change the name of Greenland to Red, White, and Blue Land. You got to be fucking kidding me. Really? Um, the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to call it the Gulf of Mexico. The rest of the world is going to continue to call it the Gulf of Mexico. However, Google and Apple have already changed it on their maps to the Gulf of America. Listen, where does Donald Trump come off, you know, as being the sole authority to be able to even do something like that? You know what I'm saying? We're not the only country on this planet. We're not the boss of anybody. You follow what I mean? So it's crazy to me that Congress and this former Republican Party, allows Trump to continue to usurp the Constitution and literally break the laws. But hey, they elected a 34-time convicted felon. Excuse me. Oh man, my throat is still feeling like it's on fire. But we have a felon in the White House. Think about that. I posted earlier this week that since since we got a felon as president of the United States, I bet not get charged for any of the crimes I'm about to commit. Because I'm going to turn to a life of crime. Obviously, it works out well if you're going into politics. Um, but Donald Trump, convicted felon, holding the highest office in the land, um, and suggesting more buffoonery, making America look really, really stupid on the world stage. Really. And I know a lot of you MAGA freaks out there like, well, you don't give a fuck, what anybody else thinks about us. But listen, you're gonna give a damn when they decide to quit doing business with the United States. You're gonna give a damn when they decide, hey, you know what? Since America wants to be America first, let them be America first by themselves. And then we turn into Fortress America. And then the walls go up because Donald Trump's trying to build walls around us. And we become a hermit state like North Korea. And we all know North Korea is not the place you want to emulate. Contrary to what MAGA would like you to believe, Russia is not the place that we want to emulate. China is not the place that we want to emulate. Um, it came across my mind earlier today. I said maybe Donald Trump is trying to uh, form a new alliance with Russia and China, and basically split the rest of the world among the three. Don't sound so far fetched now that you see the other buffoonery that Donald Trump is trying to pull off. So um, we're in trouble, y'all. We really are. And if y'all continue to sit back on your hands and let it happen, um, it's going to be too late before we're able to do anything about it. And it's like I said, it's probably going to come to a violent solution. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for war on the streets of America? Really? Are you ready for that? Because I've been all around this world. I've been to a lot of war torn countries. And let me tell you something. Um, there was nothing pleasant about these places. Look at Gaza. Gaza is a demolition zone now. Donald Trump's telling these people, the Palestinians, that they got to go somewhere else. They don't want to go anywhere else, Mr. Trump. That's their home. That's their home that the American government helped to destroy. I can't put it all on Donald Trump because uh, the war started while Biden was in office, and it wasn't Biden's fault either. Biden was the president of the United States, not the president of Israel, not the president of the Palestinians. Um, these are two groups of people that have been literally fighting for about 6,000 years. They've been at each other's throats. It's a family feud, if you want to go by biblical accounts. But in any case, uh, I'm going to say this, and probably a lot of you will disagree. That's okay. Because if we can't agree to disagree, then we really don't have a democracy. But those that call themselves Jews are not the real Jews. I've always believed that. I've always believed that. And when the state of Israel was established, I believe in 1948, um, almost 90% of the original settlers of Israel came out of Russia, Eastern Europe, or Western Europe. Yeah, Western Europe. Um, these people were not the indigenous people of the land. I don't care what you try to say. These people hijacked a culture, they hijacked a religion, and convinced the whole rest of the world to get behind them. And it was Great Britain that said, you can have this land, because Great Britain, the great colonizer of the past, is who was in control of the area, not because anybody gave it to them, but because they conquered it. They colonized it. And they were the ones that said, here, take this land and call it Israel. The Israeli charter says that this state of Israel is hereby established in the land of Palestine. So you always hear this uh, crap about, does Israel have a right to exist? Of course they do. Of course Israel has a right to exist, but they don't have a right to exist at the cost of taking away another group of people's right to exist. They don't have a right to come into a place given to them by people who did not own the land, and forcing the natives out and telling them, hey, we're taking all of this. You know what I'm saying? This is why Palestinians are so angry, because their land was stolen from them. Let's be honest, y'all. The land was stolen from the Palestinians. The land here in America was stolen from the natives. When the pilgrims got here, there was people already here, already established in their lifestyles and their cultures. The Indian nations were real, and they were conducting trade amongst each other. The land area was divided up among the different tribes, the different nations, and they were living life. The pilgrims were not invited here. The so-called settlers were not invited here. They were illegal aliens. Think about that. All right? Let's be real. They were illegal aliens. And then those people later, a couple of 100 years later, decided to bring the European and African slave trade to the shores of the New World. And a lot of African slaves were brought across the water illegally. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they were probably, uh, based on archaeological evidence we know now, Africans already here from across the water. They came here on their own a few thousand years before the pilgrims, before the Europeans got here. You know what I mean? Half of this country used to be Mexico, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. That was all Mexico. And the Europeans stole that land, called it America, forced the Mexicans out, forced them south of the border, south of the new border, south of the imperial established borders. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Um, and here we are now. We have the United States, which was built on the backs of people who look like me, built on the backs of my ancestors through forced labor and slavery by your ancestors, you of European descent. And the only ones really that should be saying, hey, we're going to take our country back are the native Indians. They're the only ones that got the right to say some shit like that. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be divisive. Truth is truth, okay? White people, or should I say Caucasian people, because nobody's really white. White and black was also something that was created by the, the masters, by the colonizers. Nobody was called white or black or anything before the American slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was. You're Africans, you're Europeans, you're Americanas, Mongoloids, um, Australoids, people from Australia. You know, there's only literally a few races on the planet. Caucasoids, Negroids, Mongoloids, um, Australoids, and Americanas, or I forget the exact word for it, but 7 continents, 7 races of people, 7 groups of people. That's what it was. But at one time, there was only one continent. It was called Pangea, or at least that's what the powers that be called it. It's Pangea. And I'm sure there are probably many other names that the natives back then may have called their land. But in any case, when you get right down to it, we're all from the same place. We're all from sub-Saharan Africa, or what is now recognized as sub-Saharan Africa. And then we spread out among the world and you know, occupied, the globe, you know? But anyway, um, we are in a critical time uh, in what will be history eventually. And history is going to look back at this time, and I think people are going to be like, wow, can't believe they did that. Really, we are, we're fucked up. That's all I can say. We're fucked up. But we're going to touch on this uh, Sunday night, 9 p.m. I'm going to open up the phone lines for the first time here in the new year. And hopefully y'all will call in and let's have some conversations about, how you feel in regards to the current state of not just America, but the current state of the world. Because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it's a global community. It's a global community. You can go back, just 100 years, you know, and we weren't a global community. We were regional for sure. We were continental, but we are literally a global community now, and we all have to live here together on this little blue ball in space. There's nowhere else we can go, and if we let a few billionaires control our lives, tell us, how we should be living, it's not going to be a very pleasant lifestyle for anybody except the billionaires. Because they need us. They wouldn't be billionaires without us. All right, so Sunday night, 9 p.m., right here on YouTube, Crazy Baby TV World. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Don't cost you a dime. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I don't even have a newsletter to send out to you all. So just sign up, subscribe, help the algorithm, and let's have some good conversations this year. All right, we got to do everything we can uh, to restore order, law and order to the United States and to the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? But we got to take care of home first, obviously. I'm all about taking care of home first because if we can't take care of ourselves, we damn sure can't take care of nobody else. And I don't think anybody else is real confident in us right now. So until next time, I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This is the Ken Jackson Experience, Crazy Baby TV World. I will catch y'all Sunday night. Peace.